when you kind of had to take the break or whatever, because I think that's a massive part of this conversation. I really want to go into depth about why you took the break, what led to the break, and what the break actually did for you. So let's talk when things were good, and then when you started to realize, hold on a minute, shit ain't working.
Fix some stuff up.
Yeah.
When things were good, well, it was always good from day one, to be fair. There were also a few ups and downs, but it was pretty much upwards. Like, sales were increasing year on year, which was great. But then COVID came around and I thought I'd be done out. I remember I was in Portugal playing golf with my father and we found out about the lockdowns happening. And we had to race back to the airport to come back. And then I got off the flight and I got a flood of emails from factories saying, yeah, wear shut. I'm like, damn. So, okay, what am I going to do here? So then, again, I never see anything as like end of the road. I was like, cool, if I can't make stuff, I'm like cut and sew, I'm gonna just find ways to do t-shirts and like print on like blank hoodies, for example. So there was this small family-owned printer in like Somerset that was still, obviously they're doing it in their house. So it was like, I said, cool, we can still work together. So we were just running up t-shirts, hoodies, tees, hoodies, face masks throughout the whole of COVID. That ended up being my biggest year. I think it went up by 4 times in that year, just from that time out. So it was like, that was amazing. And then after COVID, during COVID, I got my first office as well. Again, amazing time, big milestone moment for the brand. Did that for about a year, had some up and downs with employees and stuff. And then like, I think the brand started to grow really fast and I was not able to keep up with it. Like, sales were coming in really strong, but my eyes weren't really on the financials properly. I had my accountant there, but they weren't doing what I needed them to do. Like, and it just got really messy with my accounts and like fines and stuff like that. And then employees were messing up. And then like one occasion where they were basically hiding orders, in the sense where somebody would say you bought a hoodie from me today, a week ago, but you haven't got it yet. But you got an email saying it's been dispatched, but it's not come yet. It's been a week, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then like, but I wasn't aware of it because I'd worked with that person for about half a year. They were perfectly fine. So I stepped back now. It was in that second half of the year where it started to go a bit funny. My boys obviously buy stuff from my site. We'll link up for a lunch somewhere and they're saying, yo, by the way, like I bought something from you like a month ago. Like, where is it? Like, I'm there scrambling at lunch where I got a mouthful of food, like, damn, I'm trying to find this. Like, and then it came to a point where that person like sent me an email when I was away on holiday, apologizing for like messing up really badly and saying they were like just finding stuff difficult with like working and so on. So like, it was a bit of a blag, but like it's whatever. So when I got back from holiday, I then really looked into it properly and I was like, you're doing something very, very
Dodgy.
funny here. Yeah. And then like I started to think back and I was like, they used to always mention Jehucal being resold on like Depop and eBay and stuff. And I was like, I personally don't check that. Like, so I was like, if I don't care about this, why do you care so much about it? And then I was like, thinking like, maybe you were shifting it online yourself. Coming up for you to mention it almost every single week. I was like, so then fired them because I was like, the emails that were flooding in on the customer service being like, where's this, where's that, like, and there's so many chargebacks and refunds and so on. So like, I won't say what the total amount was, but it was very hefty. Like, it's the loss is probably upwards of 5 figures that was lost in like a couple months in terms of like refunds and chargebacks. And actually you get fined by Shopify for chargebacks as well. And then I think but the thing is, the money didn't hurt me the most. Like, money comes and goes at the end of the day. What hurt me was customers that have been buying from the brand for 4 or 5 years, emailing the customer service saying, I love this brand for so long, but I'm never buying from here again. Like, you've been horrible, it's trash service, like you keep lying to me and so on. So that's what hurt me the most, because it's like, that's really hard to get back. Like, and
You put blood, sweat, and tears into building that.
like, and it felt like it was almost like a slap in the face for them because some of them were buying the brand from 2016. So I felt like a slap in their face, being like, yeah, you might support me through the last 4 or 5 years, but we're gonna mess up your order now. I don't really care. Like, that to me was like real painful. So when they were left, I had to put out a statement just saying like, hey, that person has been released. Like, this is what happened. I had to put it on the Instagram page or the email, everything, and just be completely transparent in saying what happened. So after that, that's when the first feeling of I need a break kind of came in, because I was like, maybe my eye's not fully on the ball, where again, being the brand face and being invited to interviews and shows and parties and traveling the world and this and that, you can't look at everything with the same amount of time. So I was like, I might need a break to like kind of just like reset myself. But then the issue was that's when Chivas Regal came around. And then they came saying like, hey, do you want to do a collab? So obviously when you just lost all that money, you're kind of like, there's a brand collab here. We can make a lot of money back here. So then I said, cool, let's do it. We did it. And it was really, really great time. Like, honestly, wouldn't change it for the world. And then after that, I was like, okay, once we get this done, I might go on a break in like a few months' time and just kind of take a step back. But then the issue, well, not issue, but the week before we announced Chivas, they had the FA Cup collaboration came around. They emailed me saying, hey, do you want to do a collab? And I was like, this is amazing. But I was like, I need to take a step back from this and just like reassess what's going on. That was launched in January of last year. So then I was like, okay, once that's done, I'll give it like a month or two and then I'll take a break. But then it's like, the brand just started to really pick up again. So I can't really just cut it now. I said, let me just make it much as I can. So when I do a break at some point, I didn't have enough to hold myself down financially and so. Worked through the summer. Then like my account has messed up really badly on some stuff. And I was just like, damn, this is just getting nuts. Like, and then I think, again, the final thing for me was my ankle broke in September of last year. And I think that felt like a sign from God to say, you know what, since you won't stop yourself, I'm just going to take your ankle out. I'm going to just pop your ankle out so you're forced to sit down and be like, you're in the crib. So that's when I was like, you know what, this might be time for the break. I said, you know what, I got to rest my ankle and I'll take this time out to segue out of the brand and just put a post on the brand page saying, hey, love for the last so-and-so years. I've broken my ankle. I want to look at the brand again and reassess it in this time. I'll be back when I'm back. And then from there, that's when I took the break out. And it was meant to only be for about 3-4 months when my ankle was healing. But then as I really sat and started to delve into my last 6 years of running the brand and like what went good, what went bad, I was like, damn, like, I need to really like lock in and like go deeper and deeper and deeper. And then from there end up being 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, a year. And I was like, cool. I spoke with Daniel quite a lot, my mentor. And I was like, until I get his kind of like thumbs up on my plans and my reassessment, I'm not going to do anything. Whilst in a completely different field to me, not doing shoes and handbags, I was like, he still has that knowledge of understanding numbers and forecasts and plans and what kind of works as well. So I was like, until I get his approval, I'm not going to really start again. So it took a lot of doing it again and again and again and again and again. And finally, I was like, cool, I think you've got it now. And then from there, went to China, did the samples, came back, Jehucal started again. And that was basically it. But I think that was a really important year out though. Like, I think I needed it more than I realized. Like, personally, for mental health, physical health, everything in general.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get at. Like, what did that do for you mentally? Because I feel like that can obviously, I haven't been through that. Obviously, I've been through burnout and things like that, but I've never ran a brand, quote unquote, and taken that long of a break. But that must be difficult mentally in the sense that you feel like you're letting your customers down. You feel like you're letting yourself down. You feel like you're letting your family down. Like, there's all these things weighing on you because ultimately, those are the things that kept you going through the other difficult times you had.
Yeah.
So what's it like when you finally just stop? Do you know what I mean?
It was a really hard choice to make. I spoke about it a lot and I was kind of like in two minds of doing it. Should I just push through or not? But then I kind of felt like Ace in Paid in Full, where I was like, if I leave the game, the fans still gonna love me. That's where it felt like. I was like, if I go, are they still gonna love me and what I do? But I think, again, like I mentioned earlier, in terms of the consumer caring more about the transparency of a brand owner now, I think people know Jehucal is being transparent as a brand. They know that I will always come out and speak about what went right, what went wrong, and be just transparent, because I think it's just the best way to operate. So I think me coming out and just saying like, I just need a break to just try and figure things out and just see where I want to go. I got a lot of really nice DMs and phone calls and emails and stuff saying like, we love you, we love the brand, like wish you the best, and we can't wait till you're back and so. Like, I get DMs every week being like, when's it back? We miss you, bro, and so and so. So it's like, I think you'll be I was in my head a lot before I started it, because I was like, damn, like they're gonna think that I failed and like so and so. But I always knew I was doing it for a greater purpose. And then when it came back, everyone was like, yeah, fair. Like, it made a lot of sense. So I think it's taking yourself out of the mindset of caring about this social media cycle and like hamster wheel that we're stuck in. Because when I took that year out, I wasn't really on socials that much. I was kind of like just more like just chilling, like gymming quite a lot and just working on myself. And you start to realize what we actually care about. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, like for the last 5 years, I've barely seen my family. Like I had my office there, but I'm in the office from 7 a.m. till basically midnight. So I leave the house before they're awake, come back when they're asleep. I might see them on the weekend for a bit. There's no real like, we ain't playing golf no more, me and my dad. Like that's our quality time there. So it was like, I started to deep what I really cared about in terms of my personal life and what I want for myself and my family for the future as well. And you also realize who's your real friends as well. Probably had on my hands that many friends call my phone during the year if I wasn't posting on socials. Yeah, like always like my Moodies and like Eli, Corey, Shaq, them lot obviously calling my phone down and being like, yo, how you doing? Like, what's up? And so like that was real. But there's others that like when the brand was popping, like in the years before.
Can we go out, bro?
Yeah, like I'm coming to the studio, bro. What are you saying? Like, yo, come to this party here. Once you go quiet, they go quiet. They're like, like whatever. That's not my friend. Like, cool, whatever. Like, so I'm like, damn, okay, cool, understood. So I think that it was really like eye-opening for me that year, right? In terms of 1, knowing myself and what I care about. 2, knowing who's actually in my circle, and 3, getting nearer to God as well. Like, I prayed a really big prayer last year summer, which was pretty simple. It's just like, God, like if they're for me, bring them closer. If they're not, take them far away. And that's when I just saw my circle, the quantity got smaller, but the quality had never been higher now in my circle now. Like it's so high that it's like anyone that I speak to on a regular, that's like, yeah, we're locked in, we're working on something, or we're pushing in a certain way. So I think that was super important for me. But yeah, I'd recommend that anyone that's a creative per se, if you can't afford to do a year, which probably most can't, because that is pretty crazy to do a year of no income, but even just like a weekend off to yourself, to kind of just bake off for a weekend, like just don't be going to no party, or do a week out or so and so. I think you'll find that your eyes open to a lot of things you don't actually care about. Like, I don't really go to parties no more. Like, unless it's like my boy Shaq doing a set somewhere, or like it's a birthday or something, I'm not really going outside just for the sake of it now. Like, if I'm not in the gym, I'm in my yard, or I'm in the warehouse, or at my girl's crib, or like, kind of it. Like, I'm pretty boring now, or playing Black Ops 6. I'm smoky at that as well. Like, but that's all I do now. But I've never been happier, like in terms of my life daily and with myself and so and so. So it's nice, super nice right now. Like,
no, big up you for being as transparent as you're being right now, because I think it's so important for our listeners to hear that. And there's so many things I kind of want to unpack. I think the first thing is testament to what you've built, in a sense that there's not many brands that can say, okay, we're taking a break, and people actually want them to come back.
Yeah.
Or people will be, what's the word? Caring enough. Anticipating the drop, you guys coming back, but also caring enough to give you the space to be a human.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? The fact that you're saying people were messaging you, hope you're good, bro. You know, all of that. And that is, like you're saying, it weren't just your friend, it's customers, it's just people part of your audience. That's incredible, and it's testament to the feeling that Jehucal kind of evokes.